Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're a great and wonderful day. And I'm hoping that you get to realize the actual absolute hypocrisy and laugh at the Democrats. We have to make a laugh here now, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes we gotta go away from the BS, take a cup of tea, laugh, and have a good time. For some of the boys, it may be a cold one. I drink my tea here nice and cold, if you don't mind me myself. So, without further ado, we have this from Andy No, our great journalist, our best reporter ever. I love this man. And he comes here today with, a lot of very tough names that it's very hard for me to pronounce. As you can see from here on this channel, I pronounce things very oddly here. Or can't pronounce them at all. So we have this Sathanandan, which I am assuming that's how you pronounce that name. The vice chair for the Democrat Party, Minnesota DFL in Minnesota, fervently advocated for the dismantling of the Minneapolis Police Department, even as neighborhoods in the city were burned to the ground by BLM and Antifa rioters. Now, she has come forward about being the victim of a violent carjacking outside her home, and armed youths beat her in front of her children. She calls for her attackers to be prosecuted and for the city to be taken back. Oh, isn't it oh so sweet about these people? We have this here, that the vice chair of Minnesota Democratic Party who advocated for dismantling police gets violently beaten and carjacked. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. A far leftist Minneapolis activist was the victim of a brutal armed carjacking that occurred in the driveway of her home on Tuesday evening. Shivanthi Sathanandan, I think I should pronounce it, a radical leftist and second vice chairwoman of the Democratic Farmer Labor Party in Minneapolis, who was left bruised and bloody during the incident, is calling for accountability despite her past history of being a notable defund the police agitator. Sathanandan said in a Facebook post that she suffered a broken leg, deep lacerations to her head, and cuts and bruises all over her body when four armed juveniles allegedly beat her to the ground in front of her children and then stole her vehicle in broad daylight. As Sternvogt says, defund the police Marxist gets what she advocated for. Yep. Clap, clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap. You know, I'm never going to say that I advocate for violence, because you won't hear me say that on this channel. I guess unless, of course, it's child grabbers, then that's towing the line to where maybe violence may have to occur. But as for anybody else, I won't ever promote violence for this. However, laughing at it is a completely different story, especially when you ask for it. So what we have here is from Shenanigans with Jeremiah Bailey Ellison and Philip Cunningham. We're going to dismantle the police department. Say it with me. Dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department. As allies, what can we do right now? Listen and learn from our black siblings and then amplify this message right now. In this moment, MPD has systematically failed the black community. They have failed all of us. It's time to build an infrastructure that works for all communities. If you are still disagreeing with the basic fact, I'm not sure what to say to you. I'm proud of the radical leadership and organizing of Jeremiah Bay Ellison and Philip Cunningham. We need to support them and all the city council members and electeds who are working alongside them. Today, the Minneapolis City Council has an emergency hearing to approve a court order outlining immediate changes for MPD and a framework for systematic change. You can watch the hearing live at 12:30 p.m. at this link. Blah, 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 blah. We have this here from her again, saying, "Thank you, Minneapolis school board members, for getting this done. Exactly as it should be. MPD should have no place in our children's schools." Okay. Going on to say, "We have a little more children. Don't worry, my friends. We have more." She goes on to say, "Yesterday, my children and I were violently carjacked in the driveway of our home in Annapolis." Four very young men, all carrying guns. Your anti-gun policies really stopped that from getting guns. Good job on that too, by the way. Shocker. Beat me violently down to the ground in front of our kids. The young men held our neighbors up at gunpoint when they ran over and tried to help me, all in broad daylight. Look at my face in the picture. This is the face of a mother who just had the crap beaten out of her. A mother who only thought was, let me run far enough and fight hard enough so that my kids have a chance to get away. This is the face of a mother who just listened to her 4-year-old daughter screaming nonstop, her 7-year-old son wailing for someone to come help because bad guys are murdering his mama in the backyard. Her neighbors are screaming in outrage, all while being beaten with guns and kicks and fists. I have a broken leg, deep lacerations on my head, bruising and cuts all over my body, and I have rage. Oh, it feels so warm in my heart. It's just like what you advocate for comes right forward towards to you. And these men knew what they were doing. I have no doubt they have done this before, yet they are still on our streets, killing mothers, giving babies psychological trauma that a lifetime of therapy cannot erase, with no hesitation and no remorse. I am now part of the statistics. I wasn't silent when I fought these men to save my life and my babies, and I won't be silent now. We need to get illegal guns off of our streets. Catch these young people who are running wild, creating across our city, and hold them in custody and prosecute them. Period. Look at my face. Remember me when you are thinking about supporting letting juveniles and young people out of custody to roam our streets instead of holding them accountable for their actions. You could have been reading the obituary for me and my children today, but instead I'm here to write this. It's hilarious. Oh, by the way, sweetheart, great thing. Oh, poor soul. You advocated for this, you stupid idiot. You advocated for this. You got what you just deserved. I'm not even remotely sorry for you at all, because as I said multiple times on this channel, people have to have absolute tragedy happen to them before they start changing their ways. Just like what is happening in Chicago when they're all for illegal migrants, they're all happy, sanctuary state, sanctuary city, and let them come through, let the violence go through, and now they're finally crying, oh no, let them go away, please don't let them come to us. Yes, you get what you vote for, you get what you advocate for. It's hilarious in every single regard. And I don't still feel sympathy for you people, because why should I? You don't feel sympathy for people that were trying to protect their families, trying to protect themselves, and keep their people and their community safe. No, you laughed at them, you advocated for the wrong things, and you got what you asked for. But again, you had to experience immense tragedy, immense stuff before it came to you, before you had to change your ways. And now, we're finally seeing them changing their ways. So, as we can see here, she is not looking too great. She is beaten. She is not looking 100% to her children. So, yes, this is pretty much what everything has been going on here as well. And let this be a message to you, all you Democrats, to all you people that are voting this stuff and wanted this to happen to you. If you vote for this stuff and you want to get rid of the police and you defund them and do all this stuff, guess what happens? This is the result. This is what you get when you vote for these things, when you advocate for these things. It's stupidity at its finest. And again, I don't feel sympathy. However, I'm not going to say I'm going to advocate for violence. Nobody should be forced or have to live with getting beaten in the street, losing their kids, or causing trauma to children, etc., etc. It should not happen at all. Period. But I will not feel sympathy for people that advocate for things that actively cause problems to their children and their families. Plain and simple. And you got reality chat. Plain and simple. So, what are you guys gonna do? Are you gonna start facing reality and start changing your ways? Start trying to fix things for your family, benefit everybody? Or are you gonna keep on going down this road where this woman had to face reality the very hard way, the very dangerous way? I don't want nobody to get hurt. I don't want nobody to have to face these ramifications. I don't want kids to have to deal with this. All right? And the only way is to advocate for strong laws, strong policies, strict on crime, strong on crime, and this will fix all these problems. But if you advocate for stuff like this, for people like this, you get this. This is what happens to you. So she's right. Remember her face. Remember her policies. Remember what she advocated for. Then you look at this face. You'll get your answer. And if you don't believe it, it'll happen to you. And if you think I'm going to feel sympathy for you, when it does happen to you and you still advocate for it, even after seeing this, Sorry, it ain't coming from me. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Like, subscribe, share, as always. Take care.